One of them is a carbon copy of every other movie, and that is our first review tonight. Welcome to the Scene Snobs Reviews Hell of a Summer. Hell of a Summer. It's only one way to put this.
Yes.
To kick this off, we'll go into our normal format, which I'll tell you what the movie's about, and of course, I'll share my review, and then Paul's gonna share his review and our ratings and such. So, and then of course, fill in the comments what you thought of this movie. But this is Hell of a Summer is a 2025 film horror movie that takes place in a summer camp. It was directed by an actor who's in the film, Bryk, who I have never heard of before, and Finn Wolfhard, who, of course, from Stranger Things. This tells a tale of a group of camp counselors going to get ready for camp. The guy who's running it he's played one of the Caesars in the Gladiator 2 movie that just came out, and I think he was Chameleon in Craven. This guy is weird. I don't know how the actor in real life, but in every role he's in, he plays like a really weird guy. He's the protagonist here. It's just not a great fit all around. I didn't love this movie. It's basically a carbon copy. It's not even an homage, kind of like playing it up to the summer camp movies we've seen with the slashers. This is just completely seems like it kind of just takes from other summer camp movies, sticks everything together, and tries to be funny for almost an hour and a half, and it just isn't. It missed on every point for me. There's some fun, little quips in there, and there's some cool kills. So, but there's not a lot of great practical effects being put into it. This is a movie that it took all of these tropes, it took this budget, and this is what we got. I feel like most of the budget went to some of the recognizable phases in it, probably Finn Wolfhard's as well. What bugs me about movies like this is that this came out, I guess, in 2023 from what it says, but it's like officially out now. So I'm guessing it traveled the circuit for a little while. And I see why. It's dull. But then I get kind of upset. I'm an indie guy. I love indie movies. This is an indie movie, but let's be real. This movie had the budget it had because it had the director it had, who was in Stranger Things. If you want to take a good summer camp slasher movie, I go back 2 years before this movie was made in 2021. And then you see something like Bloody Summer Camp come in. And now, I know I'm a little biased there, but I watched this movie before I knew the director and became friendly with him. It was actually one of the movies that propelled me to do so, because I have a high respect for indie filmmakers that go out there, do their crowdfunding, and put out really good products. Dave Kerr, who directed Bloody Summer Camp, did that. And now the reason I'm drawing the parallels is because it has a lot of things even from that movie that are very familiar. The devil faces, that was one of the slashers in that movie, stuff like that. So when I get to this movie, it feels stale. It feels dull. It feels like it's not bringing or doing anything new for this subgenre that we know well, but is often not always done right. But I do have to say, I get annoyed when I see stuff like this, because big budgets and big distribution tend to go into things like this movie. And then I look at crowdfunded movies like A Bloody Summer Camp, and there are many others that you can go check out. And those directors, with even half the budget that these movies get, could do wonders with really good products. So we're not getting those projects. We're getting stuff like this, and it's out in our faces, and it's out there for rent. Because there's actually some star power in it, although there's no good storytelling power in it. So that's my feelings on Hell of a Summer. I give it a 1.5 out of 5. Paul, I'd love to hear what you think about this movie.
I mean, honestly, I was going to kind of say the same thing. I was going to take it a little further just because I got the chance to work on Bloody Summer Camp 2 on set. So after seeing, where Dave's progressed with Bloody Summer Camp, it's going to blow this out of the water. So I was sitting there watching this. I was disappointed, kind of like you just said. You had the budget, you had everything, and you just threw everything that kind of worked in other movies together and hoped it'd be perfect, and it just sucked. It was run of the mill. This is one absolutely, I'd say, stream at home if you want something to watch while you clean your house, where you can look at the screen occasionally and be like, huh. But
yeah,
I mean,
and there was no real build up for any characters to even care about.
None.
You kind of and I get that when you make a movie like this and you get to this point where you're creating these characters, and maybe they are more obtuse. Like you go back to Friday the 13th, they are characters you don't really bond with or really feel anything for. You know what you're getting into with this, but they do way better in that movie. This movie is just very stale, and the connections and things like that. Some of it feels really forced. It's just one of those things that for this, it really tried to be something it wasn't. Whoever wrote this tried to write it like a comedy in a way that you might see with The Package is one that comes to mind that came out a couple of years ago, which was a really like surprisingly raunchy, funny comedy. This movie felt like they were trying to almost be that, but they were not willing to go that far with the comedy, and they didn't understand the joke structure. It was kind of like one of those things like, this would be funny if we did this. It would be funny if we did this. And I see that more and more in like indie movies or like movies like this, where it just feels like a bro movie. Like, bro, this would be funny if we did this. This would be funny if we did this. And it's like, yeah, you know, it would be fun. A good story, you know, that would be the most fun aspect of movies. But yeah, so this was just a miss on all cylinders for me. I was not a big fan. And you're saying the same. What was your rating for this?
I think I give it a 2 out of 5, just kind of being nice, because I did giggle at some of the slightly funny moments, but I mean, that's not a praise though, you guys. 2 out of 5 is
I'm not even going to talk about the hard-on scene, but that one did have me laugh a little bit. They handled that one. Even that was like the funniest joke in it, and I was like, you mean you really don't know what tofu is? I mean, come on.
Right.
We're going to drag this one out for a little while. But so that's our ratings and how we felt about Hell of a Summer. I want to hear what you guys think. Sound off in the comments and let us know. We appreciate it. Get to our name.